Let me first begin by thanking members of the civil society, members of the university fraternity, and our students for coming here in such large numbers. We decided that we have been talking too much sometimes to ourselves, that today we want to be listeners. Let us sit down and listen to the people. And you have not disappointed. Those who had opportunity to talk have not disappointed. And we take it that those who have spoken is a representative sample of this audience which is here today. And therefore, I'm going to just tell you what we ourselves had agreed as leadership of Azimio to be our common position. This is not just my stand, it is the Azimio leadership stand. And then I will finish by just saying a few things at the end of it. Okay? But here, as Ongwen said and Eugene has remembered, we are in holy grounds here at Ufungamano House. Many ideas have come from this holy place, which have actually contributed to change of lives of the people of our country. Ufungamano, sometimes we remember with nostalgia where we came from. Eugene has told you, we used to be here with our parents who have since left us. And they told us how they themselves organized themselves to fight against colonialism and how independence was achieved. At that time, Kenya was facing one of the most entrenched dictatorships in our history. But we were able to basically tame that dictatorship. So nothing is impossible with the people power. The people are determined, there's nothing that can stop them from achieving what they want to achieve. Over the decades, this venue has become synonymous with our quest for a more perfect nation. Each time we have taken a stand here, the nation has overcome confusion, doubts, and fear, and taken a stand for the better. Although we have held deliberations here that shaped our nation, none has taken place under circumstances as worrying as is the case currently. Kenyans have never had to struggle this hard to put food on the table or take their children to school. Even the civil servants have never gone without pay up to the 13th of the month. When we held frequent meetings at this venue in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, we aimed to end the single-party rule and give ourselves a new constitution. As we meet today, both the multi-party democracy and the constitution we fought for are under attack. Our electoral system is under attack, and all the work that we have done in creating the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and introducing the use of technology into our elections are clearly going to waste. Despite the Constitution that calls for inclusivity in public affairs, the professional civil service that we have tried to build since independence is being dismantled through tribal appointments and sackings. It seems to be the fate of this country that each time we are on the ascendancy, something happens to pull us backwards, and it always begins with elections. The election of 2007 pushed us to the brink wiped out a thriving economy, and broke the ties that had held Kenya together for decades. This election of 2022 and the regime that emerged from it may be the most regrettable thing to have happened in our country's history. The failures they have recorded in a mere 6 months, including a record of high cost of food and a collapsing economy, should be enough warning that we have to act quickly and decisively. We have been told, and I quote, "The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Read also good women," unquote. Our presence here underscores our refusal to be the good people who did nothing and allowed evil to triumph in our country. Something fundamental must give this time round. Otherwise, we could lose a whole country. Our wish is to achieve the overhaul of our state of affairs with the involvement of the people from all segments of our society at every stage. We will engage in the bipartisan process to which we have sent very able and competent representatives. But the people must not be left out or behind. We are not going into this dialogue for deals in smoke-filled rooms. We are going into this to secure and safeguard fundamental life and death gains for the people and the country. Throughout the talks, we expect the people to stand on guard and ensure it's about them and the country. That's why we are gathered here today, so that people can consult and engage and be watchful. We must refuse to be party to the subterfuges of the past that are glossed over and compromised on fundamental issues for expediency. Something fundamental must give this time round, but only if the people stay engaged. We are not going into this to be rubber stamps. One of the things that has clearly been on display ever since these past 6 months is that Kenya Kwanza is a regime of rubber stamps. Subsidies are being removed from food, fuel, electricity, and school fees, exposing people to suffering, and Kenya Kwanza rubber stamps it as okay. They know there was an order for the opening of the IB servers, but the rubber stamp is as okay the refusal to open the servers. They know the buying of MPs to switch sides undermines our hard-won multi-party democracy, but they still rubber stamp it as okay. People are being appointed to and sacked from the civil service on tribal lines, but Kenya Kwanza rubber stamps it as okay. You have not agreed to participate in the bipartisan process to be another rubber stamp for Kenya Kwanza. That has to be understood from the outset. Should the talks falter or bear no fruit because of the grandstanding, lack of openness, lack of honesty, and intransigence of our opponents, the people will have no option but to take their future and that of their country into their hands. Already, we are seeing signs of intransigence from the Kenya Kwanza, which is trying to determine for us what to take to the discussion table. For avoidance of doubt, our issues remain what we have always said they are. 1, immediate steps to lower the cost of food, fuel, and school fees. 2, opening and forensic audit of IEBC elections servers. 3, restructuring and reconstitution of the IEBC and the reinstatement of the 4 IEBC commissioners. 4, an end to the poaching of MPs to order side. Let us engage, let us join hands, and let us stand firm in the interests of our country. Finally, we have said that we are not doing this because of any weakness on our side. We are only saying that Kenya is bigger, and that's why we are saying that we want to engage. Nobody should mistake this as a sign of weakness. We have embraced these talks before, but there must be talks which are going to be held with equal respect, mutual respect, and also in line with the law. The Kenya Kwanza have been saying we cannot do something outside the constitution and the laws. No law actually stops a dialogue outside parliament. In fact, we have had this before. When we were in a crisis, we had talks held at Serena Hotel, chaired by even a foreigner. Those talks were not considered to be illegal or unconstitutional. In the end, the product was taken to Parliament and approved unanimously by members of Parliament. We are in a similar situation here today. The police have shown complete disregard to the lives of our people. Many innocent Kenyans have died. Last week I visited Kenyans in hospitals, Bangati Hospital and Kenyatta Hospital. Young people shot by the police. Their only crime was that they were participating in a demonstration which was illegal because the police had been notified. A young man in Kisumu was knocked by police as a police officer. That young man who was knocked in Kisumu, just for the understanding of everybody around here, is my nephew. Actually, not my nephew, my grandson. His mother is my niece. I'm the one who actually recruited him to take him to the police. Then they go and arrest innocent people and charge them with murder. The other Kenyans, journalists, just basically accompanying us when we were demonstrating, have been shot, some of them very seriously wounded by the police. Nothing has happened. So we have said as Azimio that we are going to take this matter to the highest court in the world. Already our lawyers are working on this, and we are going to take the particulars of all those police officers who have been involved in deliberate shooting and killing or maiming innocent Kenyans to a court which is outside our jurisdiction as a people, to ensure that justice is achieved. But they can come with live bullets. They can come with bombs. We will go and confront them in the name of the Lord and the God of Kenya. And we are sure, like the biblical David will confront Goliath, and we know what will happen to Goliath. So we, therefore, want to thank all of you for coming tunatoa shukrani sana kwenu kwa kutualika sisi kama wanazimio kuja kusikia. Tumesikia yale mnayosema yote na tutayabeba, lakini vile vile tunasema Wakenya hawezi kutishwa. Wakenya watasimama imara, Wakenya wataendelea. Sasa tumekubali mazungumzo ziendelee, lakini mimi nakubaliana na pendekezo ambayo imetoka hapa siku ya leo, ati mazungumzo yaendelee, mazungumzo yaendelee na maandamano sambamba. Dawa ya moto ni dawa ya moto ni. Kwa hivyo sisi tutaendelea, sitaendelea. Tunangoja Ramadhani ishi. Ramadhani kisha namna hii tutatangaza. Tutatangaza na mtaitika. Tulikuwa naimba namna hii, nikiitwa nitaitika, nikiitwa nitaitika, nikiitwa nitaitika, kupambana kwa Afrika, kupambana kwa ukombozi, kupambana kwa ukombozi. Azimio